I'm Kawana D. I'm a government contract strategist. And what I do specifically is I teach women and minority small business owners how to grow their business with government contracts, for the reason being so that you can have consistent, sustainable income for your business, get top pay, and also have regular paying customers. Because I know those are like some of the main struggles of small business owners. Right? But anyway, I knew right at an early age that I did not want to struggle. I did not want to become a product of my community. You have to go through the red tape sometimes. You have to be willing to get up and dust yourself off if you fail. And I'll sit back and talk about credit, the things that I didn't know as a kid. I didn't know until I was an adult. There was a system, right, in place to help you, and it's designed to help you, right? Want to own land and property and buy up all this stuff, right? And do whatever, build a legacy. Hey, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Family Talk Friday. I'm so excited to be here. Welcome for those of you who are inside the GovCon Insider. I'm super excited that you are here. And for those who are watching maybe on YouTube, learn about our GovCon Insider because it's a community where we are gathered in Facebook, a private community membership where there's going to be cohorts. Of course, there's checklists and interactions and peer-to-peer consulting and peer-to-peer help and all that stuff that's happening. That's going to be the bomb. There's a lot of things that's going on that's going to be rolling out inside the GovCon Insider. So welcome. I'm super excited that you all are here. Be sure to click on the StreamYard link if you're joining on through the GovCon Insider, just so we can see who you are. But let me know who is here. Say hello, drop a hello. Let me know where you're from, where you're joining from, and the type of business that you have. So today, if I can bring up my notes today, I'm actually going to be talking about Hubzone and 8A certifications. Those are the cuss words. Hubzone and 8A certifications. So here, if you want to learn where to go to join our GovCon Insider to be a part of this amazing private membership community, where there's exclusive benefits that will be rolled out over the next several months inside this group, please visit govconinsider.tv. Today we're talking about Hubzone and 8A certifications, what they are in general, when and how to use them effectively. And I think that is so very key. There's a lot of misconceptions. There's a lot of misunderstandings. There's a lot of disconnects. There's a lot of fear and all that stuff. And so I want to say hello to those of you who are dropping in. Aledia, hello. I hope I said your name correctly. Hi, Deanna from New Jersey, is a travel agency. Lisa Lee, hello, and happy Friday to you as well. So in this video, I want to talk about AA and Hubzone certifications, what they are in general, and how they can help you grow your business, right? So that's basically what we're all here to do. We're trying to figure out a systematic or strategic way to grow a successful business. And so we're going to be covering that today. But the timing of when to get them is going to be very key. So remember that. Take note of what I just said. The timing of when to get them is going to be very key, right? And I'm going to cover some information around that. Hey, Princess, good afternoon to you as well. Hello, Ann from Houston. Thank you so much for joining us. For those of you who are brand new, I am Kawana D, your government contract strategist, and I help women and minority small business owners learn how to generate massive income with government contracts using a simple step-by-step strategy that I designed. It's a blueprint and system that I personally designed called the Government Contracts Accelerator, right? The $1 trillion government contracts accelerator that I personally designed. You're not going to find that blueprint anywhere, but this is the same system that I've helped several small business owners across the nation in the US learn how to generate massive income for their business. So if that is what you are here for, then you have a match. If you're here to learn how to grow your business with government contracts, you're in the right place. Now, if you're here to learn how to speak on stage, wrong mismatch, right? So I just want to make sure that you know what you are here for, and that this is going to be the perfect, ideal content for you. So hello, Nia Merced from Long Island, New York. Love your energy and ministry. Thank you, Michelle. So cool. So now, so what I do basically in general, just to recap, I do help women and minority small business owners. That includes men, right? If you're a minority male that has a small business, that includes you as well. Learn how to generate massive income with government contracts. And guess what? That also includes those businesses that have just started, right? Whether it's 30 days, 90 days, 45 days, and have generated zero income, zero revenues. That includes you, right? Why? Why does it include you? If you've generated minimal income, because you are the perfect candidate and you are highly qualified to become a government contractor for that reason. Now, there are a lot of naysayers. There's a lot of wrong information out there. A lot of people will tell you no, because they've been told no. But the one thing that I can say about that is that you have to really be careful who you follow and the belief systems that you buy into. Because if you buy into the belief system of someone who got misinformation and they believe that for themselves, which led them to do nothing, which led them to get zero results, and that becomes your belief system, then guess what type of results you're going to duplicate if you believe that, right? Zero results. So zero from zero leaves zero. And that's the honest God truth. And I want to say that simply because I have personally, and I'm going to be sharing this in a whole nother training coming up in the next few weeks. I've personally helped a few small business owners who did not have even a business license getting started. They did some work in business under the table. They did some freelance work, but did not even have the checklist items or the checklist that I share with you all. They didn't not have that together. And so even though on the local city level, and this is going to be different for everybody's city, it may require you to have 6 months in business or at least 12 months in business on the local level. Now, this was the case for my client, which I'll tell you all about in another training that I do coming up in the next few weeks. But this was the case for this particular client that I work with. Their particular city said they had to be in business for 6 months. So guess what? Do you think that she stopped trying to learn about government contracting? No, because I told her, and this was my advice, and this is my advice to you, just because the city says wait 6 months doesn't mean wait 6 months before you can get any contracts. Because you got to remember, there's 3 levels of government. There's local, state, and federal government. And all of those work together for your good. And the reason why I say that is because while she's waiting for these 6 months, not even a month or 2 went by, and she's working on getting state and federal certified, right? Those come through while she's waiting for the 6 months for the local to pop up, and she lands a contract 60 days into that 6 month wait. And guess what? It was in the local city, believe it or not. And why? Because that local city project had state funding attached. And with the state, there are no time in business requirements. And so this is the reason why I say when people tell you you have to do this, or you have to be in business for 2 years, or there's a bigger picture, there's a whole picture. And I'm just trying to tell you that you cannot follow the naysayers. You have to do your due diligence. You have to know that everything is designed to fall in place. And just because you have to wait 6 months with your city doesn't mean that city does not have a federally funded contract that you can do today, or a state funded contract in that city that you can do today. And so they all work together. So this is the reason why I talk about optimizing your business portfolio, or optimizing your business so that you're able to capitalize on every opportunity on all those different levels. So it's very, 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 very possible. It's happening. It happens. And I personally know and have helped people achieve those goals. Not to mention, A few business owners that I actually became my clients in my coaching program just this past October, I think October, November-ish. I think it was like November, who are already landing multiple contracts, and it hasn't even been a year. So it hasn't even been 4 months. It haven't even, you know what I mean? So you do the work, you'll get the results, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, so today I'm actually going to be talking about where does out of all of those certifications, where does Hubzone and 8A come into play? Because I know that most people want to know what those are and how do you get them. And some people even want to just get everything up front. But I'm going to tell you the number one reason why you don't want to get all of that, including the Hubzone and all that stuff up front. Now, all the basics, yes, you want to get those. But when it comes to those advanced, and this is my recommendation to my clients, and I'm going to break down today why I recommend it. When it comes to Hubzone and 8A, it's all about the timing. Excuse me. So now you can land government contracts whether you've been in business for 20 years and made a few $100,000s per year or whatever, or if you just started, right? I just want to reiterate that. Hey, Amber from Toledo, Ohio. Hello. And it's all about the strategy. So be careful who you listen to and who you follow. Just wanted to let you know that. Just reiterate that. There's also, there's also within those contracts discrimination from the Human Resources Department. Dedra Clay. Yeah, so they have the so they have like the Human Resources Department or the Compliance Department normally write into rules or regulations in contracting opportunities the different types of parameters of inclusion and diversity and the goals and all that stuff. So I'm not sure exactly what your comment is, but I'm not sure exactly what your comment means, but I think that's what you're getting at. So anyway, if you're working, looking to do a contract with an agency, just knowing that agency does have a human rights department and a civil rights department, like those are really good advocates for small business owners. So anyway, number one, what I want to talk about is these 5 tips on Hubzone and 8A certifications, when to get them, and why you want to wait to get them strategically in a time frame. So it's just like a deck of dominoes or playing cards, a deck of cards, right? I'm not a game player. Like I really didn't play dominoes and cards and stuff growing up. I still don't really understand the game, but I've seen people who were really good at that. The games that I played was like match. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Dedra, for clarifying that. That's exactly what I'm referring to, especially with veterans. Yes. So cards. I played match. You know how you lay the cards down and then you flip them over one by one to see if you can get a match. And I was really good at that. But like when it comes to dominoes and cards and other card games, I didn't really know how to do that. But I understood the concept. And even with those games, right, you have to know when to play your hand. That's the one thing I did learn by watching other people. You have to know when to play the right cards, when to lay down the right dominoes. And it's the same thing for government contracting. You have to know when to lay down or when to acquire the right type of certification. It's a game, right? So just think about small business certifications as a deck of cards, right? So, or a handful of dominoes, right? So you have your WBE, your MBE, your DBE, your SBE, your WOSB / economically disadvantaged woman owned small business. You have your service disabled veteran owned small business, your LGBT business enterprise, your Hubzone, and your AA. So let's just say that's your deck of cards, right? So now specifically, Hubzone is a, let me see, somebody's on here. Okay, so specifically Hubzone is a particular certification that is based off a geographical location, right? So now if you look up or Google Hubzone area map, you can actually put in your business location and see if your business is located in a Hubzone. These are normally underutilized areas that the government the government zone as underutilized areas. And so any business that serves or resides in that underutilized area is not only qualified for specific set aside contracts that are designed only for Hubzone, right? But a lot of times these Hubzone certifications are what's called sole sourced, which means that they don't go out to bid. If you're Hubzone certified, you provide this service that they're looking for in this zone, they call you and give you the contract. It's no competition. So that is the reason, Lulu said, I'm in the process of completing these. That is the reason why it's important to get them. Now, when I say it's important to get them, and just because I'm seeing all this data, don't get them if you're not already generating at least some millions or hundreds of thousands and you're ready to take your business to the next level. And there's a reason why, and I'm going to share with you the reason why I say that. And so another thing about the Hubzone certification is every 3 years you have to renew it, right? So it's renewable. But the good thing is, unlike the basic certifications, which is the woman-owned, minority-owned, disadvantaged, small business, like unlike those, there is no threshold, right? There is no, you make up to this amount, then you graduate out of those programs. In the other basic certifications, you grow out of those programs, you graduate, and you want to graduate because that means you're making like 30, 40 million a year, right? You want to get to that, right? And you want to graduate. But the Hubzone comes into play. Because it breaks past that. There is no threshold. You could be making 500 billion a year and still be able to get Hubzone contracts. So that's why you want to use the basics to get to the 30 millions and so on, depending on your industry. The threshold may be 500 million, or there may not be a cap. So it just depends, right? But you want to use the basics to get there. And when you're almost there, the Hubzone releases or tears the roof off the mother. It tears the roof off the mother. So basically it gets you beyond the threshold and now you're still in a good position. So you have to use your cards and play your cards strategically. Olivia says, I'm definitely in the Hubzone. I needed this training. Yes. So I'm glad that you looked that up. Another thing about the Hubzone, I'm going to tell you really quick, has nothing to do with government contracting, but I know the EIDL, the targeted advance grant that they were given is based off you being in a Hubzone. So if you got declined for the targeted advance additional money, it's because they're only giving those additional grants to Hubzone based businesses. That's why. So if your business is not in that zone, then you have to figure out, well, how do I get zoned there or whatever, so you can get approved. So anyway, that's just a tip. But so 3 years, every 3 years you have to renew it. There's no cap, there's no threshold, right? Isn't that good? Isn't that good to know? Now, visually, I want you to visualize the basic certifications is going to get me to here. I'm going to leverage that while I'm here. I don't want to jump to Hubzone and have this right here, this cap, right? Have it release this threshold or be able to bust through the roof or whatever. If I haven't even started making $100,000 yet, I haven't landed my first $200,000 or whatever it is that your first contract is going to be. You haven't. Like, you have to grow in phases. You have to have a goal, right? And lay it out to where, okay, once I get to $500,000, then maybe that's when or once I get to 15 million, because I know my threshold for this particular industry is 30 million. Now I'm halfway there. Now let me open up with Hubzone, and so I can go surpass that. So when I graduate out of this particular threshold program, that I'm still able to get government contracts that are set aside for me. And now I'm in a position where I do not have to compete with anybody because I'm getting sole sourced contracts at that point, right? So strategies, playing games, understanding how your cards work, what you're working with, how to get there, right? So what is an AA certification? AA certification is very similar to like the Hubzone in some ways or not. But what I want to say about the AA certification is it's so advanced. There is no threshold. Another, that's the similarities between AA and Hubzone. There are no thresholds, but okay, when I say but, I mean you don't want to try to get that right as soon as you're starting, because number one, you have to have 2 to 3 years already in business. That's a part of the requirement. And number two, you only get to be in that program once. in your lifetime, one time, and it's 9 years and you're out. So this program, the 8A, is designed to help you build capacity. So let's just say how much capacity, or how far you want to grow, or where do you want to get to, right? So let's just say you're at that 15. You leverage your basic certifications to get to that 15 million dollar threshold, and now you're ready to take your business to multiple billions. That's where 8A comes into play. Because guess what? You're on a 9-year program assigned to a mentor protege who not only helps you get your books in order, your finances in order, help you build out the capacity, help you build out your team and your organizational structure, and get you tax ready and everything else to take you to those multiple billions, right? That's what it's designed for, to take you from millions to multiple billions. So if you're only, so let's just say you've been in business 3 years. Let's say you've been in business 3 years, and so you can qualify for 8A. The reason why you don't, but you haven't even made $100,000 a year yet. Now you're starting your 9-year point too early. You got to play your cards right. Play it when you're already multiple millions in, and now you're ready to take it to multiple billions, because there's no cap. You have the mentor proteges, you have the business support. They help you build out everything else to help you get there. And that is the reason why I always recommend, even to my clients, that until you get here to this particular level, you want to wait on 8A and Hubzone certifications, because it's all about how you play your cards, right? It's all about how you play it. Now, and that recommendation, and most of my clients are seeing, like now, especially those who have, like, but it's a recommendation, so you can do what you want, right? So if you want to start your 9-year period early, go ahead. Or if you want to play it strategically, like you're playing cards, win the game, right, and shut them down, go ahead. It's your decision at the end of the day, because it's your business. And so those are the purposes of 8A and Hubzone: understanding how to use them effectively, understanding how to leverage them to take you to levels deep, understanding that you don't have to have everything right now, and strategically there's a reason why you can't have everything right now, but all the basics is enough. Because guess what? On the federal level, there's multiple trillions. Hey, Brianna. Oh yeah, so yeah. How much is your master class? So we don't have. So I didn't get a price when I went to your website. So we actually have a coaching program. So and it depends. Are you looking for a class or coaching? So the master class, I can send you the link if you want that. It's just a class, right? It's just, I think it's like an hour, right? But the coaching program is where you get the results. Like, that's where we help you implement the system. We help you get all your certifications. We help you through the process. We teach you how to bid. We show you where to go. That's where you get the actual results. But if you just want a class just to kind of get your feet wet, or just to kind of get some knowledge or some insights into a small step, then of course we can send you the link for that. Good question, Tammy Miller. How do you feel about GSA? Great place to be. GSA schedule is a good tool to have as well. In fact, I've been doing government contracting for, I want to, since 2010. So it's been about 11, 12 years now. I'm to the point where now I only recently am ready to go to the multiple billions, and you had to go somewhere else first, right? Only recently am I applying or did get certified for the Hubzone at 8A, only recently. And so I got those were priorities over GSA, because there's a lot of money with those right now. But GSA is still a good schedule to be on. And so if you're on a GSA schedule, it's like basically being on a short list for agencies that buy off that list, right? They're like, oh, we already have these people, we already have their pre-populated pricing, let me just buy. So it's still good. Yeah. So yeah, you can get on GSA. It just depends on you. There's no real timing involved for GSA, but definitely it's a great thing to be a part of. I mean, I know several people who's on a GSA and they're doing very well. So I will definitely recommend it. So depending on where you are in business, I don't know how long you've been in contracting, if you're just getting started, if you're making six figures or multiple six figures, maybe a couple million, and you're ready to scale, that's a really good tool to get on. Nia says, I'm looking for coaching. Yeah, so good. Book a call. We'll go ahead and put this up. Book a call to see we'll see if it's a good fit for you and your business and where you are. I want to say it's an application to apply for our coaching program, because of course we only want to help in our coaching program. We only work with those that we 100% know that we can help you, right? If we don't feel like you're ready, then we don't even get you enrolled, because it doesn't benefit anybody for us to help you if you're not ready or if you're not qualified to go there. But we'll let you know you may not qualify, but here's where you can start to help you get qualified. So then we can revisit this in like another 6 months or whatever, however much time. So we're very, very, very transparent on that. So I just wanted to put that out there, because some people are just like, oh, I got denied, and they're like butthurt. But it's like, we don't want you to invest in a high ticket program that's not going to serve you where you are, right? So if you're still building the business out, then what you need is business building, right? But if you're at scaling and growing in capacity, that's what we can help you do. Okay, so it just depends. So what is GSA? So basically, oh, hey Lena, that's fabulous, congratulations, awesome. So GSA is basically, it's a schedule. It's basically like a they have Sam's Club and Costco, right? Members only type of thing, and only certain vendors are on that list. That's basically what it is. It's a vendor list that the federal government actually purchases from. And you can actually look it up, GSA schedule. It'll give you, there's a whole website, gsa.gov, I believe, and you can, just kind of look it up. You can easily, I think there's a way for you to even see who's on the GSA schedule, and how much people are being solicited from the GSA schedule. So it's like being on a short list, basically. So YCN says, what? I didn't know that in regards to the targeted. Yeah. So it's the targeted advance. So it's the targeted advance and supplemental grants. No wonder a lot of people wonder why, yet many still went by what was originally stated last year. Yeah, because what happened when the original one was not based on Hubzone, but the second round, the targeted advance, like the increase, was specifically based on Hubzone. And I was trying to figure out why. And here's the thing, it's crazy, because my business has always been in a Hubzone. That's where my business is located. But I had a virtual office also, right? And so on my business documentation, it's my Hubzone address. All of a sudden, the people, I don't know who the people are, but changed my business physical location to the virtual address. Now, that's not an address, that's a mailbox. Why? Because they wanted to disqualify me from being able to get that targeted advance, that additional, and say that I'm not Hubzone. No, baby, we're gonna change my address back to where this is where I'm physically located, in the Hubzone. So give me my money, right? And so yeah. So that's how I discovered that you have to be in the Hubzone. So if you want to know if you're in a Hubzone, they do have a Hubzone map that you can look up and put in your address, and you'll see if your business is zoned in that area. Now, if you're zoned in the Hubzone, it's beneficial not only for the grant, which is one-time free money, but for contracts. That is the purpose, right? To grow, to take your business to the next level. Brianna Hughes, how do you determine if you're ready or not? Good question. So ideally, okay, so let's just say ideally, right? So in my group, like the GovCon Insider, there's a checklist. So if you want to know about GovCon Insider, just go. I think it's good. I don't even know where the link is for that, but I'll put it up in a moment. GovCon Insider. If you want to know about GovCon Insider, right? I think it's like a $20 subscription into that private membership. There's a checklist, and it basically says if you have X, Y, and Z, right, then you basically qualify for government contracts. But there's other phases, right? If you're generating, like for my particular, this is just for my program. Anybody who has X, Y, Z from that checklist can get started with government contracting. For my particular program, we have some financial thresholds. So if you're making zero in your business and you have zero money, then that just basically tells me you don't have the capacity at this time to invest at the level that we work on for me to help you make millions. You don't have the money to invest in our programs, which our programs, transparently, I'm open transparent, it ranges from 6K and up, right? 6 to 10 or 20K and up, right? So at the low end is like 6K. So if you don't have any, if you indicate that you have no revenues, right, to invest in that, and I know it's kind of like a catch 21 because some people may not have revenues in their business, but they do have revenues to invest. So we do have some things in place to kind of say, oh, well, are you, is that the case? If that's the case, and you do have money to invest in our program, we're going to help you, right? But if you don't, then it's like, here are some other lower tier DIY courses or some workshops or something to help you get started with generating revenues so that you're able to invest at a higher capacity. So that's basically for our program. It doesn't mean that you have to be generating at least, that amount. Ours is at least 25,000 or above 25,000 or at least 80K, right? But it doesn't mean that you have to be generating that to get government contracts. You can. And you can do that with a DIY course. But for coaching, we want to make sure that it's not a financial strain on our clients to invest in our program. So that's the reason why we have those parameters in place. So let's see. Hey, Rachel. Hi, Ms. Caruana. I appreciate your involvement in the building of small business owners. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for appreciation. Thank you so much. Oh, here it is. So for those who are on YouTube and you want to join our small community here, where you, in fact, in this community, our normal prices on our smaller tier courses and master classes and challenges, like, you get discounts. So you want to be a part of the community. It's a very, very, very small investment. Very, very, like, it's a very, very small investment. That's because we have people that are managing that group, and we need to be able to cover that expense. But it's very, very, very minimal. But the information is priceless, that you get. Not to mention the benefits and the discounts that you get, and the early access to our programs is of course, it's priceless. So, hey, Cameron, arriving in San Francisco this evening for Juneteenth celebration honoring Professor Angela Davis. Oh, so Cameron, where are you coming from? Because I'm right here in the city. I feel you. Those came in handy and on time. It was a fight to get in for those of us who applied last year. Yep. And didn't get it at first. It was worth the fight. Yeah. You got to advocate. I mean, because it's crazy that some business owners, some people who didn't even have a business, was making up stuff, was getting it. And it kind of affects everybody else, because now you got to prove you got the business, and you getting declined for nonsense. And so, yeah, that was just a hot mess. Yeah, that was just a hot mess. So you mentioned, let me see. You mentioned you could start with government contracts no matter how long you've been in business. However, I have not been in this specific business long enough to produce 2 years of taxes. Can I still pursue government contracts? Are amazing. Am I required to wait? I love this question. I'm gonna post that up, Olivia. And so let me share this with you, right? So when I say you can get government contracts no matter how long you've been in business, you can get government contracts no matter how long you've been in business. And the reason why I say that, because I know you go through the checklist and you see that they're asking for 2 years of taxes, right? It does not say nowhere 2 years of business taxes. So 2 years of personal taxes is okay. So then that means, right? So what does that mean? That means that you could be in business 30 days and still qualify for government contracts. Now the tax thing, your personal taxes, and for those who may not have had any income for the past 2 years and have never had a purpose to file taxes for the past 2 years, then guess what? You can write a letter of explanation explaining that, and that's perfectly okay. So when you hear people that has like, when you hear about these things, these nuances or things that says you got to have X, Y, and Z, there's ways around those. There's ways around those. So just know, like I said, my one of my clients, she didn't have none of that stuff, like nothing. She got the business license while working with me. She got her EIN and Dun and Brad while working with me. Like literally 60 days later, she landed her first contract. And so, and for as far as taxes, you use your personal taxes, or if you don't have personal taxes, you're writing a note. The reason why they want to know what kind of income you're generating, period, right? And they look at your taxes for that purpose is they want to know, are you already coming in at the $30 million range, right? Are you already graduated? You do not even qualify, right? So if you're a struggling business, a business that has inconsistent income, you've never really made money in your business, that means you are the perfect candidate for getting government contracts. You just have to understand that there's so many different avenues and so much information, right? So and it's not something that you can learn in an hour. It's not something that you can learn in a 3-day class or seminar or workshop. Or this is something that you learn over time. But of course, when you have somebody like me or a coach or someone who's been there, who can walk you through and get those questions answered for you. And when you feel like, oh, I don't have taxes, let me sit down, I'm just going to wait for 2 years and figure it out. No, I'm going to be the one that say, no, do this. And that's what coaching comes in, right? I'm going to be the one that said, oh, just write the letter of explanation. That's how you get past that, right? And so a lot of people have disqualified themselves. Don't disqualify yourself. Don't disqualify yourself. And recently, I've even seen that someone was, I can't remember where they posted it, but they were like, you cannot get government contracts if you're new in business. I'm like, where do you get that from? Here's the testimonials, right? So here's people that are getting it. And so where people get their information from, I don't know where you get your information from, but just know that you can, right? And you have to qualify yourself, and you got to know that even if it doesn't matter if you went to the PTAC and they told you that, they are employees, and sometimes they give out wrong information. And it's true. Some of my clients I got wrong information from over there prior to working with me, and now they're landing contracts, and now like all these contracting opportunities are just like ring picking up for them, and they're like, oh my God, you told me this was going to happen, and this is oh, it's such a blessing, all these things. I'm so glad and grateful for you, because it's true. You will get wrong information from for people, but just don't accept the naysayers. Anybody that tells you no, run. Anybody that tells you stop, go. Anybody that tells you it's not possible, know that it is. All right. So always keep a positive, open mind, and know that it's possible when you have the right information, with the right steps, with the right coach, with the right training. You will get those results. You will be able to get past those blocks. Okay. I emailed, fax, sent regular mail, called, tweeted, all that. It was tiring at times, but worth the fight. Yeah, because again, talking about that EIDL, yeah, it's hard, but you have to keep knocking at their door and be like, hey, even if you send an email to them, it's like, are y'all gonna answer? Do y'all talking the email? You're gonna respond or whatever. So anyway. Hi, Tommy. Tommy says, I've been declined for the EIDL grant 2 times. I sent my consideration due to the fact that I was zoned into the map. It shows my business mailing address located in the low income zone. Yep. Yeah. So keep doing that. And trust me, you're not the only one. It's happened to me as well. Sometimes we have to get on the phone with them. So there is a phone number you can call, because I noticed that reconsideration email, nobody seems to respond to that. I don't know why. That's not really my area of expertise. Is not at all. But guess what? I know someone that's their area of expertise. Shantae Roddy from She Boss Talk. That's her area of expertise. I just know what I know, and that's government contracting. That's my area of expertise. But I would highly recommend that you reach out to her and see if you can get some tips, or do a consult with her. because it's definitely worth doing a consult with her to learn how to get them to respond. I got my senators involved. You ain't playing, huh? Tommy ain't playing. He said, "Give me my money." So anyway, so I shared with you all what is Hubzone in general, right? Um, the every 3 years you have to renew it. There is no cap, there's no threshold, there's no time that you grow out of that, right? But you definitely want to wait, and use it, play your cards at the right time. I share with you the 8A certification in general, what it's used for. There's a 9-year cap and you're out, right? So if you want to go in wasting that 9 years, knowing that you've only probably made 20,000, then that's a waste of time. You've wasted your time. You've wasted that 9 years. That's really there to help you go from millions to multiple billions, right? So you want to use it effectively. But at the end of the day, again, I can only give my suggestion. Is your business. You can do what you want. You can do what you want. Yeah. And so Brianna Hughes says PTAC is that helpful. Yeah, so I mean, like sometimes you can get like really good PTAC officers that may have done government contracting or may have been a government contracts procurement officer or whatever. They have those insights in that experience. It's very rare, right? But you'll get a good one. But there are some that are out there, and sometimes, more times than none, you'll get the ones that'll say, "Oh, you haven't been in business 2 years, you don't qualify." It is a lie. I'm just saying, but it's not like they're purposely lying. It's like they just don't know, right? They don't know. We've had people tell us that their PTAC officer told them that they were a sole proprietor and they have an LLC. There's no way that you can have an articles of incorporation LLC business and you're considered a sole proprietor. Now you can be taxed. Different scenario. You can elect, if you're a single member LLC, you can elect to have pass-through taxation, which means you can elect to be taxed as a sole proprietor, which means you can still do your Schedule C, but at the end of the day, your business structure is an LLC. It's not a sole proprietorship. And so there's a lot of misinformation that you'll get, and sometimes it'll come from a source that's supposed to be very knowledgeable, but you don't know what you don't know until you know it. It's a learning curve, right? So Adriana says, glad to hear that because I just needed a mentor and business plan to complete that. So I will stop. Oh, no, I mean, but consider, still use them, Adriana, because sometimes they're good for other things. Just know that you can get contracts, right? Regardless if they say 2 years or if they tell you, oh, you got to have 5 years or you got to be generating $1 million already. Like regardless of that, they still have resources. They help you with resumes. They help you tap into like the bids database or whatever, so you can get leads and all that stuff. They just don't have like systems and strategies like we do. But anyway, up to you. So you got to know what to watch out for, right? So anyway, that was my tip for today. I just wanted to share with you all Hubzone at 8A because this is like one of the things that, people have questions around and they have questions about it. And sometimes people who are brand new want to start there, but you can't. And you want to understand why you get denied for 8A because you just started, right? It's because you don't have that 2 years or 3 years or whatever it is that's required. And then you want, or even if you do have 3 years, you want to know, you want to know why you're eight, at 9 years, if you've done nothing in 9 years, you no longer qualify for the program. Yes, because I reached out to Sam asking if I was a sole proprietor and I have an LLC. It confused me a bit. Yep, you're not the only one that's happened, and it happens. And the information, but the best person who can tell you about your structure is a business tax attorney. They'll tell you, because this is what I know. They'll tell you, right? You can elect to be taxed as a sole proprietor. But that doesn't mean you're a sole proprietor, because guess what? A sole proprietorship means you're doing business under a fictitious business name. So you have a fictitious business name filing. So the name of your business is Bonquisha Escobar, whatever that name is, right? Bonquisha Escobar, DBA Conclusion Enterprise, right? DBA, right? So doing business, so it's you, your name, doing business as this company, and everything is under your social security number. Now, when you get to an LLC, you're an entity, a separate entity. You're doing business under your EIN and you're Dun and Brad, not your social security number. Now you can elect to be taxed as a Schedule C as a sole proprietor, which means that you're not double taxed as a business and as a person who's generating income from that business. That's double taxation. So you get passed through taxation, and those are for tax election purposes. But I'm not a tax expert. It's just what I know. Seek a tax expert for tax advice. They will tell you that your LLC is an LLC. So, Lydia, thank you so much. You're welcome. And thank you so much. Thank you all so much. So, for those of you who know that, you do have what it takes to get government contracts, or you at least have a business, you have those things on the checklist, and you're interested, you're interested in learning and working with us inside our program, I want to extend the invitation. But this is for those who are just like, this is what I want to do. I'm tired of trying to figure it out on my own. I know that I can succeed if I get the right steps, the right system, and have somebody support me who knows how to get there, right? If this is you and you know that it's your birthright to be successful in business, to generate millions of income, or whatever it is, whatever your financial goal is, and you know that a system is what you need, I want to invite you to join us inside the $20 Government Contracts Accelerator. At least submit an application and let us know where you stand. And if your application is denied because maybe you indicated that you don't have the time to implement a system, right? If you don't have the time to implement a system, we're not going to take your enrollment because you have to do the work. We'll show you, we'll help you, we'll guide you. But if you're not willing to do the work, that is a hint to us that you're not going to be coachable, you're not going to do it, you're probably going to invest in it and let it sit on the cloud. Those are not the type of people we want to work with. And so that's why we have those parameters in place. We want to work with those who we know 101% we can help. Okay. So if you indicate on your application and get declined for financial reasons, that says that you're not generating enough income to invest in our program. And if we got that wrong, send us a support ticket. Let us know, oh, I do have the money to invest in a program. I don't have money coming from my business. So we'll understand that. Okay. And we can help you get around the application. But anyway, to apply, the address is $1,000,000governmentcontracts.com. We do have a team that will be reviewing your application and then having on a phone call just to go over the qualifications and how we can work together to explain the program and all that stuff and make sure it's a good fit for both of us. So you understand the commitment, you understand our commitment to you and how we're going to help you, and then we can work together. We can rock and roll. Like when I say there's a couple of young ladies that's been in my program that actually, in fact, one of them came under one business, and after coming into our program and learning all of this insight, this good knowledge that I share, right, started a trucking business. She started in November, started a trucking business. What's this month? This is June. I think by April, landed her first trucking contract. So you cannot tell me or nobody that I have helped that you got to be in business for 12 years or 12 months or whatever in order to land a sizable contract, right? And is already on to landing multiple contracts simultaneously, right? Those are the things that we teach. It's not for everybody. It's only for the believers. It's not for naysayers. It's only for the believers. It's not for negative people. It's only for the believers. It's not for people who talk themselves into walking into a wall. You come in with disbelief, you're not going to be a good fit. We want to work with those who are hot and ready. You know what I mean? Like you're ready to take your business to the next level. You're serious about it. You're going to put in the time and do the work. You're going to ask questions so we can help you, and you're going to show up for yourself. $1,000,000governmentcontracts.com. Go ahead and apply to schedule a call with us. We'll be super excited, more excited to help you reach your level. Now, between November, December, January, February, March, and April, that's 5 months, right? So she did it with a business that she didn't even have when she started. Within 4 to 5 months, landed a huge contract, a huge trucking administration contract. That's huge, right? That's big. And so you got to ask yourself, 6 months from now, doing what you're doing now, piecing in piece by piece, whatever, are you going to have a contract? And if not, and you want to have it by the end, right? Because we're 6 months in, by the end of the year or before the end of the year, you can be landing your first contract and just duplicating what you just did, and then duplicating that again. And before you know it, by this time next year, you'll have multiple contracts, right? So you can do the slow pace or you can do the fast pace, however you want to do it. We're here to help. So do you help with pricing also? Yep, we do help with pricing. We have funding partners that help us with our clients to get lines of credit, which will help your business. And the other thing is, when you come into our community, like for real, it's powerhouse. Like all the women there are amazing resources and accountability partners, but also we don't just talk about government contracting. We talk about what is your ultimate goal? What do you want to get to? Like, what is your personal credit looking like? We got resources for that. What is your finances looking like? We got resources for that. What is your portfolio looking like? Do you have $1 million in savings or $100,000 in savings or whatever? We help you generate wealth overall with the resources and the information that we share inside this program beyond government contracting. It's just your whole overall financial picture. Is because we want to pass down, help you generate generational wealth so you can pass it down. And generational wealth, it goes beyond having a successful business. It goes beyond that. There's so many other aspects, and those are all the bonuses that you get working with us. That's what we do. So we do have financial partners that will help you get a line of credit so you can pay for the program so that you can be on your way to generating wealth. And then also what we do, we report your investment into the program as a business trade line, which will help you in return also build business credit, which will also help you in return generate money and income and revenues from the business credit side. So it's all around just a win-win. And so I'm just grateful that to even be in a position to be able to serve on this capacity, on this level, but it's only for those who want it for themselves. So okay, I need all of that. Yeah, so come on and schedule your call, $1,000,000governmentcontracts.com. We're looking forward to working with you. And thank you so much for your time. I'm over my time, but happy Juneteenth. You guys have a wonderful weekend. It's like a sunny weekend all weekend here in Cali. It's very hot. And was it Camille? Cameron. Yeah, Cameron. Yeah, let me know when you touch down in a city, because I'm here. I'm in the city. So let me know how long you're going to be in the city. Maybe we can grab lunch or connect or meet up. All right. So have a good one. You guys have I'll see you all next week. Same time, Friday, Family Talk Friday Live. Same place right here, GovCon Insider. For those of you who are on YouTube, join us at GovConInsider.tv so that you can engage with us inside the membership Facebook portal. All right. Talk to you all soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.